Do you think the hookup culture has made people more and more distant or afraid of commitment? Like they don't want to get into a monogamous relationship because they just find this better?
Yeah, definitely. You pointed at the bullseye. The fear of attachment is definitely there.
Yeah,
And now, when an individual know that I may have another options available, why to put in so much of efforts? Why to try so much and you know bring myself into an uncomfortable position in making a relationship be sustainable?
well,
Because I do have options available and the options can be reached very easily. So I have just tried to draw an analogy here, which will not definitely be justified, but still understand. When we were young, we used to have junk food, but we had very limited options available to eat outside food. So it was a once in a month tradition or twice, once in 2 months where we would go out with family or maybe some hawker would come on our in our neighborhood and then we'll order something. But now we have multiple options available outside the home. If we step out and we just go on a lane, we have multiple food joints, and even if it's not there, we have Zomato, we have Swiggy, and we can order food as per our own wish whenever we want. Right. So the
yeah,
ease of availability has made us more prone to ordering outside food. The tradition of going out with families or going out with friends, the charm has somewhere reduced. Right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
again, we have a pool of options available when we're talking about dating. So we don't really value or acknowledge having this one particular person who is really concerned about me, who's attached to me, who cares
yeah,
for me. And because I am not able to process my emotions, I am not able to process my insecurities, my vulnerabilities, and again, fear of attachment.
fair enough.
That the person might go away from me, rather I go, or I will be cheated on by this person. Trust issues are there based on past
Yeah.
experiences mostly. So rather I stay safe by not getting too attached.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll jump into the section if it's red, if it's green, if it might be red,
Okay.
might be green. Okay. If an individual texts you back but takes more than 2 hours every time.
If it's an every time thing, then probably a red flag. If it happens sometime, then it's not a red flag.
Oh, okay, okay. The person plans your entire future after 2 phone conversations.
It's a red carpet.
Likes all the alpha content over Instagram.
Oh my God. It's again a red carpet. Not just a red flag.
Mm. Talks shit about their ex.
Completely labeling it a red flag won't be right. What if the ex was a mean person?
Yeah.
So somewhere, let's say, an orange flag,
Okay, says let's go with the flow.
somewhere between red and green.
Red and green.
If both the partners are consensual over it, I mean, it's somewhere between red
Yeah.
and green.
I have one. Holds the door whenever you enter the restaurant or whenever you sit in the car. He's always holding the door for you or pulling the chair for you. Is that a red flag or a green flag? That's a green flag. That
Again, that
scares
can
me.
be that's mostly a green flag, but
I
yeah,
find it
for
so
some people,
scary. Why is it so nice? Why are you pulling the
it's
chair?
a
This.
green flag taken back.
Why
I
like
mean,
yaar, pata nahi bhi, I don't know yaar.
and
It
then
could be
also,
that.
will the person do that for you for a lifetime?
Lifetime.
It
Yeah.
won't happen for sure, right? So that's more of an honeymoon phase thing.
1 month. 1 month. Okay. Corrects your grammar.
I think we all have been there.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of doing that.
But it's okay. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's wrong, right?
Yeah, again, between red flag and green flag. It's not always a red flag, but yes, sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Don't know how to cook.
I don't know how to. I do
But
know,
you
but
are a
not
green
like.
flag. I know you.
Exactly. So yeah, cooking is a life skill. So yes, if a person should know how to cook, so it should be a red flag if a person doesn't know how to cook. When did I
Exactly.
say I don't have red flags? I do have some red flags.
Yeah, everybody has red flags, of
If
course.
of
Nobody's
course we
perfect.
all
Yeah.
can't exactly.
I have one. So calls you for literally everything that happens with them during the day, be it like something big happened or small happened, nitty gritties. They tell all the details, too much information. Is that a red flag or a green flag?
It can be a green flag again. I mean, it's on me whether I am a red flag or green flag in giving that person the space to share all the details or not.
Asks you to pay after a date. Dutch the bill or just pay your share. That should be a green flag, right?
That's
Yeah.
green, yeah.
Tells you he
Mm,
likes girls with no makeup, okay, but
yeah.
also ends up liking all half naked models on Instagram.
That's a red flag. That's somewhere a controlling tendency where I don't want to see you. I don't like you with makeup, but I'm not able to say that clearly. But yes, I like other girls
Yeah.
with makeup. That may be a way of saying.
Now, these are the pointers which my friends are suffering at the moment. One of my friend, she's kind of dating this person. The person is not ready to commit, but also doesn't want to leave her. In between the dating life of their, he brings up the conversation that you should marry somebody like this. You should marry someone like this. But he also shows one part that he's extremely serious with her. How do you navigate the situation? What is the situation?
Is this also a way of breadcrumbing? What
Yeah,
Astha is
maybe.
saying?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not exactly breadcrumbing. The person is not giving any false hopes here. We're not giving any, may have made false promises, but currently is not doing the same.
Hmm.
But at the same time, what we need to understand here that the other person is not ready to take a decision. It's not, there is some fear of commitment or there may be some practical issues involved which the person is not ready to face, right? So the seriousness or the affection shows that the person wants to commit, but again, something is stopping. And when it is happening continuously or has been happening from past few months, or let's say sometimes it happens for years also, then the other person have to take a call somewhere. You
Yeah.
know, the friend whom you're talking about, she has to take a call whether to she's comfortable being in this situation or she wants to take a decision of coming out
Leaving.
of this situation
Yeah. Yeah.
because a lot of attachment is involved and it's not an on off button that today I decide that because this person is not committing to me, so I should break up. It's a gradual process. But at the same time, I know that I want a long term commitment, but my partner does not want it. So we are not on the same page. So somewhere right now they're not on the same page. And again, they have to navigate it whether it's worth waiting, taking it forward for another, whatever duration they want to,
Yeah.
or parting ways is the best option. And it's one of the most difficult situation, also one of the most common situations.
Oh.
I'll share a very personal opinion in this, and I think it's based on maybe my personal experiences also. And I've seen a lot of females around me. I'll talk in terms of females. See, what has been the case with most of us is that we have to fight for our rights, for the smallest decisions. Even I come from a slightly conservative family, so we have to learn to take a stand for ourselves, whether it be it going out, whether it be dressing in a particular way, whether it be going for higher education. A lot of the females still have to do that,
Yeah.
and giving justifications and answers at home. But for males,
Easy.
don't really have to fight for it. They don't even really have to take a stand for it. So for females, it's easier in a committed relationship to think of fighting for it. That I'll fight the world against this relationship and I'll take a stand.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing that since long. But for a male, because the person hasn't done that, and it's
Yeah.
again takes a lot of courage to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that acts as a blockage. And that is why this pattern is seen in today's
Hmm.
scenario. In most
Yeah.
of the cases, it's seen that the males are not taking relationship. They are in decisions. They are a long-term committed relationship. But when it comes to the point of taking a stand, taking a final call, whether to get married, not get married, or to take the next step for the relationship, they
Yeah.
usually end up backing off.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow, beautifully, beautifully put. I love it. It's heart. My heart is just poured here. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Especially when you put it in how women have to, just explain everything. We have to fight the society as well, and then we have to build ourselves as well. We are
Right,
literally dealing with so much together.
right.
Now, the second and the last incident I would like to discuss is I'm talking from now, guys' perspective. A lot of times I've heard this that guys are, these days are going through this, that the girl is committed with them until the point, actually, the kind of same situation what we discussed at the very moment. They are together with the guy until they find a better guy to marry. Okay. Now their family is bringing a rishta. She finds that rishta to be, better for her, say in terms of financially or in terms of her lifestyle will be maintained or anything of this sort. She chooses that rishta over the relationship. And now guys are complaining that if you never had the intention to marry, then you shouldn't have projected that on the first place. Now, what do you think? Why do you think that girls are doing this? I mean, every individual obviously have has their own, but why do you think and how do you think even as girls we can communicate better, we can tell them the reality, or we can really tell them what exactly we are going through?
Okay, something on the similar lines where I will indulge into a particular behavior until my family gets to know about it. But I don't have the courage to take a step against my family. So now we see the other side of the picture. When a lot of
Yeah.
females, they don't speak in front of their family, they don't fight for their rights, they don't think it's important, and they have been brought up with a particular social construct that it's
Yeah.
okay if they are saying don't do this, I'll not do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
That also happens. But yes, I will do things until my family gets to know. Now,
Yeah.
when my family has brought a rishta or is asking me to get married to another guy, I won't be able to object that.
Yeah.
I won't be able to defy that. And at the same time, then I will try to figure out reasons to convince myself that yes, this is a better option. I will be more secure, I will be financially more secure, socially more secure. Again comes the social construct, the social cultural construct, where the females are, since a very young age, made to believe that you have to choose a partner who's financially better off from you,
Yeah.
who has a big family or a reputed family, who who has a good social stature, and at the same time, again, being taught to be dependent on the other person. Now, when I have to be dependent, I will be dependent on someone who can take my responsibility in that way. So, yes, these factors sometimes overpower the feelings of, again, love and affection and attachment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Got.
in our culture, I think at the end of the day, defying the family and breaking the social construct plays a very important role, because that's a very big step to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you start feeling like a social outcast when you do that.
Sometimes we even are outcasted, actually. Yeah, absolutely. I think life should be like maybe green flags to look for. We have discussed red flags, we have discussed green flags. Now, what are green flags from a professional's perspective? What should look for?
Okay. Number one thing is good communication, clear cut, reciprocal communication, giving each other a space to speak up for themselves, to be themselves. So it always has to be a reciprocal communication. I understand, I empathize with you, and you
Yeah.
empathize with me as well. Maybe we have difference in opinion, but two people can agree to disagree on certain things. Then, secondly, understanding and respecting each other's individual identity, individual space, and to an extent, autonomy and freedom. Right, that is very important. Not wanting the other person to change or to fit into my mold as per my own wish. Right? It should be like two pieces of puzzle fitting together, and not like I'm cutting and shaping the other person to fit into my puzzle,
Yeah.
my piece of puzzle,
Yeah.
right? Then third is equality or equity in distribution of responsibilities when we are talking about relationship, whether be it a married relationship, whether be it a committed relationship, whether be it a short-term
Yeah.
relationship. The socially constructed gender roles should not be defining how one partner should be behaving. The roles and responsibilities should be equally distributed, whether it be finances, whether it be
Yeah.
social responsibilities.
Right. Bag. Yeah.
So I think, like we discussed, that
Yeah.
touching
Yeah.
the bill doesn't matter, or
Yeah.
sometimes I pay, sometimes you pay. So that should be there. And also, one very important thing is that it is important to express and acknowledge the love and affection the other person has for you and you have for the other person. If you're not always communicating it with words, so maybe
Yeah.
small tokens,
Yeah.
small signs of affection. It a person has to continuously put in efforts to
Yeah.
sustain a relationship.
Wow. Very well put.
I
Can we just jump on red flags? I don't know why I'm wearing green and jumping on red flags, but I would really like to tell you, like, ask you, what are the red flags we need to look for in relationships? So,
okay.
like, what are the red flags we need to look for from the woman's perspective, from the men's perspective as well? We'll touch all of that. If you just can just a few pointers.
Okay, so like we discussed communication, so when there is an severe lack of communication
Yeah.
or a lack of understanding what the other person is trying to speak out to share with me, sometimes maybe the other person
Yeah.
just needs you to hear them out and not give them opinions or solutions. So that understanding, that equation has to be there. Lack of communication is one of the biggest red flag. Then another red flag is where one partner hijacks the relationship. One partner becomes over imposing or takes majority of the decisions or dominates the other partner. So that's why I use the word hijack the relationship, where one is in a very controlling position and the other person is in a very submissive position. That is a striking imbalance in a relationship. So being too controlling is also a red flag, and
Yeah.
being too submissive is also a red flag, right? Then being completely dependent on the partner, whether be it financially, whether be it emotionally,
Right.
right? Completely dependent to take all the roles and responsibility. For example, now talking about it happens, quite a many females, they expect their partners to take all the responsibility when it comes to finances, as small as doing
Yeah.
a phone recharge also. And they go with the mindset that it's the responsibility of
Yeah.
my partner to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is a red flag on the side of a women. We are talking about
Both the genders.
binary relationship, right? Right. So yes, being financially dependent on the other person, then always trying to
Mm.
put your partner down, uh, in
Yeah.
social situations primarily, and being a totally different person in a social setting and a different person
Mm.
when you are in a personal setting. There may be some differences, but socially you're not willing to
Mm.
accept that relationship, not willing to address it, but personally you are
Yeah.
200% committed to the person. Then if a person has a space but still chooses to hide the entire relationship from their
Yeah.
friends, family,
Yeah.
sometimes a person does not have a space, but after having a space, if one partner chooses to completely hide, that shows that somewhere they have lack of confidence or are
Yeah.
unsure about the relationship. So that is also somewhere a
Yeah.
red flag. Yeah.
Is too much public display of affection either on social media or basically in public is also a red flag? If there is a couple
Yeah.
that does
Sometimes.
too much of PDA whenever they are among people, among the society, be it online or offline, do you think
Yeah,
that's because what
sometimes
are you trying to
definitely.
hide or what are you
Okay.
trying to prove?
Exactly. Sometimes
Mm.
it's like showing an ownership also that this person belongs to me. Not always, but sometimes it happens that one partner is trying to show an ownership that this person belongs to me.
Yeah.
So
One red,
stay away or something
yeah.
like that. Not always, but
One
yes.
red flag I'll tell you. Many friends notice these red flags
Hmm.
in their friends' relationship when they start distancing themselves with their own personality. Like, say, that person was very
True.
outgoing, now they don't go any. That person
Hmm.
used to talk to you, used to check in with you weekly because you were their good friend. Now they don't do that.
Hmm.
They're going just in the very opposite direction from their personality from the very moment they started, yeah, started this
Be into a
relationship.
relationship. Yeah.
And I think and
Thinking.
I don't know, in some relationships it's so difficult to intervene even as a friend because the other person, they might take it as, oh my god, maybe she's not comfortable with my girlfriend or he's not comfortable with my boyfriend. And then it's a very dicey situation. You can intervene as a friend. When your friend is so deeply in love with the other person, they'll think you are the villain. मतलब कमाल बन जाएंगे आप.
That
Love
happens
life.
in a
Yeah.
lot of cases.
So yeah. But thank you so much, Nandini.
Yeah.
This was so fun and it was
Thanks,
so nice.
Nandini. Anytime.
We loved having you.
I think it's a pleasure for me also. I think this discussion and it gives us so much of I don't know, perspective. And
That's
it's
true.
like, three girls chit-chatting about their own lives somewhere.
And every other
Yeah.
girl's life that is close to us all
True, true,
together.
true, true.
Womanhood coming out
Yeah,
completely.
yeah.
All right, thank you so much, and
Okay, it was a
I hope to
pleasure.
speak to you again. Thank you. Bye.